Hello everyone, I'm back, and I'm unfortunately not playing on Forgecraft. I jumped on very quickly just to kind of get everything set up. It actually took me a while to figure out how to do everything. Thankfully CPW walked me through most of it. Uh, and then we got on Forgecraft 2, and they'd already started playing with it without me. And player had created like 3 ages, and they didn't have any biome decoration in them. There's no grass, there's no trees, there's no ores. Yeah. So, trying to figure out why that happened. Or didn't happen. Might be more appropriate. So, I'm going to actually... This is the code that's relevant. This population area. And this should be what's handling this. This function call here, particularly. So, if this function's being called, this populate function here, is being called, then there's good chances that everything's mostly fine, and that the problem is actually in my biome wrappers. If this function's not being called, I've got some really interesting problems indeed. So, we're gonna go make a new age and see what happens. Blue wool. Alright, so mist create 6 TPX. That's of X.
So when you use the command to create an age, does it just make a random one?
Yeah, it's completely random. It didn't call it at all. What?
That's your debug, is block sand.fall instantly? Or is that... Wait, never mind. Does that just make all the sand blocks fall that are hovering?
Yeah, it's for generation purposes. Okay, so... Why didn't it get called? Therein lies the most interesting question. Alright, so let's see here. Uh... Am I just not in debug mode? What's going on? What's way down here at the bottom? Is that bedrock? It appears to be bedrock. Oh, there's an error in my flat code too. Should fix that. Alright, so it's probably in symbol. What's it? Modifiers. Biome. That's it.
Hey, Repair.
He just had a couple questions for you, XComp.
Well, I'm streaming at the moment, so.
I know, that's why I'm not saying anymore.
Okay. Let's see here. Controller set average ground level. Yeah, so I missed out this. That was an oops. That's fixed. Let's try it again. Okay, open this up. Check what's going on here. Okay, I'm actually gonna regen the local chunks here. Yes. So I hit this one. Provide chunk, good. Okay. There's an error down here. Oh, it's an NEI. Continue. What we got here, okay. So, what's gonna happen when we hit this? Come in here. Terrain is populated. Oh, I bet you I know.
This would be cool. I'd go like that away. XComp, what would you imagine adding a cooler for food into a hardcore map like ours, into the ultra hardcore? Basically, you place all your food in the cooler and it passively feeds you.
That sounds kind of convenient, yeah.
I mean, it uses snow, and depending on the way you have your maps up, it can be very hard or very easy to find.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're here. It's during... Oh, okay. Well, calling this function is what's breaking it. Because it's saying that's... Well... Okay, and chunk exists. So watch. Why does this chunk not exist? Which provider are we looking at? Chunk provider server chunk exists. I'm going to flag all these because these are where it gets populated from. Okay. So it is. There we go. Calling my function now. Biomegen Hills. I've apparently not replaced the biomes of this as of this point. Right, of course not, because this is the generation-based biomes. Okay. There we go. Good. Population is happening. Okay. I don't know why the ground's so low, because this is... Oh. This is a bunch of biomes. River, taiga, deep ocean. There's probably a lot of deep ocean in here. And you can actually see there's a bit of terrain there, so it's just really low. There's my stone platform. That's good, that's generating. That's why it wasn't generating before. That was a good eye. Somebody commented before that there wasn't a stone platform, and I just kind of looked at it and went, that's probably because of the way it generated before. But actually it's because it wasn't populating. And this occurs during the population step at the very end. So that's why that wasn't there.
That ages like Waterworld from the movie.
Yeah, it's a lot like Waterworld, and it's flat, and there's going to be exactly this much water everywhere. Okay. So that should fix that. If anybody's wondering, the reason this is not a portal is because I built the portal on the server map, and not this map. Well, I can build it on this map now. Oops. Okay. So, fixed that. Hef, I'm not taking feature requests at the very moment. This is a bug fix stream. I'm just trying to get Mistcraft up to 1.7.2. Okay, so that should fix that.
So what else is broken?
That's the only... Well, there was also the cave's carving fluids, which we could fix right now. Might as well. So... it's actually World... Gin... Okay, I don't remember. It's symbol... Caves... Terrain... Map Gin Caves Mist. That's it. Back to this. Okay. I may do shaped water as part of tech. That would be a lot of fun. For the very moment, I don't actually want the cave generation producing it. So... I need to check... It's actually in this, I suppose. Place block. Solid. Right.
So just out of curiosity, because I never played Ribbon, what is the shaped water?
Well, let's see, when traveling between the different islands in Riven, because there was a really neat monorail system that went from one island to another. In fact, there were 5 islands, kind of. And there was a monorail system linking all of them. In parts of it, you actually went underwater, and the water was just kind of pushed out of the way, not by glass or anything, it was just held away. The physics of it was explained by there being bacteria in the water that kind of pulled the water to them, and that didn't like heat. So they'd found that they could heat these iron bars, basically, and produce enough heat along the length of this monorail to make the water kind of pull away from it.
Okay.
So that would be neat. Alright, that should fix the check here. The check here got broke when updating. So I'll fix that too. Alright, we're actually gonna... Okay, back to building. Whoosh. First I'm going to make my commit. Oops, I just closed the workspace. That's okay. Okay.
Does your little scroller at the bottom update automatically, or do you have to do that?
I have a text file that I modify.
Oh.
So it's more or less automatic in that it's part of the it's reading from the process I already had, so. Fixes biome. Should actually mention that. Fixes age is not populating. Fixes what else? Caves carving fluids. All right. So that. Cradle W build. Disarm is not a page, it's a property, but it's a link panel property specifically. Am I planning on adding more effects like that? Maybe. Yeah, it's very tiny text. I apologize. Let's see if I can prove that's
Do you use continuous integration at all?
continuous integration in what sense?
To build your mod once you push it to whatever you're using to host your code? Something like Jenkins or something along those lines?
No, I don't use Jenkins. I've considered it, but basically all of my code is just hosted locally, and then I have backups in other places.
Oh?
I have to actually set up a server somewhere that's building it in order to do that. But I have it so that or generally I've had it. At the moment I don't because of the Gradle transition, but I've had it so it's just a one command build. I'd type in one thing and I'd build it it would do everything for me automatically, upload and whatnot. So all I had to do was write the PR stuff for it when doing that. The blog post and whatnot.
That's one of the reasons why I'm happy they went to Gradle, because I use Team City to build all the Java mods.
Mm-hmm.
and you can have it auto increment the version and push it somewhere automatically on successful builds and stuff like that.
Okay, we're up to 4 now.
Before Gradle, it was harder to automate building.
Yeah, I had it set up through Ant.
Yeah.
And Abrar has promised me that he can convert that to Gradle for me, so. Two Broke Gamers is asking, is there a good Mistcraft age writing tutorial out there? If you check my blog, Dyer actually, or I've linked a video Dyer made for writing. XComp, are you planning to stay in Finland after you finish your studies? Most likely. Okay, so depends on, what happens. But at the moment, I'm looking at going into PhD. I'll be here for another 4 years. We'll see what happens after that.
What are you looking at doing your doctorate in?
Procedural terrain generation using non-cubic voxels in a massively multiplayer online environment.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Let's try that one more time.
Procedural terrain generation using non-cubic voxels. Minecraft is a cubic voxel system. It's got, cubes. Non-cubic is obviously voxels that are not cubes. So, procedural generation of non-cubic voxels in a massively multiplayer online environment, an MMO. I'm going to build a networked system that is designed for lots of users, and then figure out how to do the the terrain generation and communication across that kind of thing with the bandwidth limitations and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Alright, well, that was fast. They've already pulled the update for Mistcraft onto the server.
Wow, that was fast.
That was real quick. I'm impressed. I'm going to grab that, put it into my over here. Alright, so we're going to go to standby real quick. What's that? Those, got that.
Yeah, at least it was an easy fix.
It was reasonably easy once I figured out why it wasn't happening. Yeah. So we're all set. I'm going to try launching this, and then I'm going to play a bit of Forgecraft. So, I'm going to break this real quick right here, and then come back with playing. I'm going to change the name of the stream. See you in just a few minutes.